What are the opportunities open to her in the Nigerian business environment? Thank you for joining us today on Total Woman here on AD4 TV Radio. My name is Muti Olori. On this program, we discuss issues that affect the female entrepreneur while celebrating women who have broken boundaries to be outstanding. Rapid economic development is dependent upon elimination of gender biases. Yet, women in Nigeria led a protected life. They are less educated and economically not self-dependent. All these reduce their ability to bear risk involved in running an entrepreneur. Inadequate infrastructure, shortage of power, high cost of production, social attitudes, and socio-economic constraints affect women in businesses just as much as men. But women also suffer from the cultural perspectives about women's roles. These factors are holding women back from participating in business, in politics, and other areas of endeavor. In addition to that, women entrepreneurs are not generally aware of the subsidies and incentives available to them. So today on the program, my guest, Mrs. Rose Gian, the Executive Director, Association of Women in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and the Director General of the Global Center for Human Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Development, will be joining me on the program today to discuss the entrepreneur who happens to be a woman. What are the opportunities open for her in the Nigerian business environment? Thank you, Mrs. Gian, for joining me on the show today.
My pleasure.
So as a woman, what is the position? What are the challenges women are really facing in Nigeria?
Well, when you talk about the woman in Nigeria, I think the challenges women face in Nigeria generally, not only peculiar to entrepreneurs, are enormous because they are challenged with issues of sociocultural issues. They are faced with the issues of lack of capacity, lack of education, and appropriate information that will really, enhance their livelihoods. Women are mothers, women are sisters, they are teachers, they are role models to their children and other younger ones, as well as community leaders. But in all of this, they are not regarded as opinion leaders. They are not regarded as capable to be within the governance space. Even though naturally women, they are governors, women are leaders, women are take up a lot of responsibilities.
By virtue of the fact that we're nurturers,
yes,
we bring forth and we raise.
Exactly, we raise, and if we're not only raising, but we also manage to see how those that are raised are properly placed. So when you ask, what is the place of the woman in the society? My opinion is she owns the society. She raises life. She manages life, she mentors, she leads, she teaches. So what else do you expect from, what other name do you want to give her, if not, owning the owner of the process of life? However, we do not forget the fact that we're African women, we are Nigerian women. That nature, or do I say culture, has brought us to be subordinates in the home. Subordination now going even to the outer space, where in governance women are not acknowledged to be leaders. They will always be acknowledged as maybe assistants, and yet even if they are the ones doing the work, somebody else is taking the glory. So I think it's about time that the world, not only Nigeria, should reconsider their position dealing with their women. Good, I think we have a good story to tell quite recently when a vice president emerged in America. And a woman. So what else? If a woman can emerge as the vice president of the world power, we're looking up to that. So I think Nigeria should get ready.
We should really get ready. But like you said, and I also mentioned in my introduction, our challenges are enormous.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've been able to overcome some of these challenges to rise to where you are. Tell me your story about how it has been for you, what you face, because whatever you face is kind of a mirror of what the Nigerian woman is going through, and even worse for those who are really not even privileged. So tell us a bit about your journey so far.
Well, as a woman operating in Nigeria, I wouldn't say my own challenges are different from others. But I think I was able to have some kind of overcoming the challenge with less stress because I prepared myself. And in preparing myself, at least I went to small school. I acquired skills. So it has placed me in a position where I could decide for myself what I want to do. Well, of course, with the cooperation of our leaders in the home, the husbands. And so when a woman sets out to do something, what I will encourage her to do is first to capacitate herself with that which she wants to do and be focused. Once she's able to achieve that, she knows what she wants to do. And she goes about getting knowledge and skill about what she wants to do. She will overcome all the challenges. Because first, for instance, within the entrepreneurship world, you can't wake up in the morning and you want to start selling akara. You don't know how to make akara. You won't get the business going. Nobody will patronize you because you may be selling something else and they want akara. So you must find a way of getting the skill of what you want to do. Identifying how and where you can take this skill to. Getting information about how you acquire the skill is very key. So for me, I was able to identify who were the appropriate stakeholders for me to engage with to be able to get this capacity enhanced. And I was ready to always learn. I was ready to always learn through tutelage, through mentorship, and all that. And so for any woman who wants to succeed, especially as an entrepreneur, she must bring down herself and learn. She must be ready to learn. Learning goes with a lot of challenges. Sometimes you don't have the time, you must create time. Sometimes you don't have the available finances readily, you must find a way of getting that by removing certain comfort from your agenda to be able to achieve. Because removal of such comfort is not going to be, it's not going to be continuous. It's just for a period of time that you want to achieve something. And of course, the Nigerian woman is always a praying woman. So these are the things I think are very, very key if you must succeed, not only as an entrepreneur, but also living your life as a whole. In addition to that, you must learn to partner and collaborate with others because you can't do it all alone. And so if you are open to such networking, you get things easily done.
So apart from the capacity building that you talked about, which I believe is very key, but a lot of people don't pay attention to, there are other limitations that face the woman.
Yes, within the business space, we are faced with a lack of access to finance, markets for our products. We are also faced with, like I mentioned earlier, lack of appropriate information. Because it's when you get the information that you make the right choice. Otherwise, your choices will be limited. Yeah, because it will only be within the confine of the information you have. Now, the challenge of access to finance, I'm happy to actually say that we are almost overcoming it.
Really?
Yes, because there is this popular intervention, the ACMIS loan, agribusiness and micro, small and medium enterprises intervention scheme that has been on, I think, was it since 2017 or 18 or thereabouts. But the challenge women have with that is, number one, accessibility, because you need to pass through a process. And the truth is that sometimes, maybe because of past experiences, that we've keyed into certain interventions and it never worked, we are cold in furthering our search for access to finance. But I want to assure women at this time that they should go through the process of the ACMIS loan and they will get it. I am so confidently saying this because we have a platform of women, Federation of Women Associations in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, that is presently working with the Office of the Honorable Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, to make sure that we ensure the facilitation of 50,000 women to access this ACMIS loan. And it gives equal opportunity because we have 1,000 per state. 1,000 per state. And then the membership of FEDWIM itself has 200 per national association member. And of course, I told you earlier on, the Nigerian woman is a praying woman. So we have the Muslim cluster and the Christian cluster that will have 500 each. And that gives you 50,000. So we have equal opportunity for women to leverage on this partnership. It has never been as sweet as this. That the Honorable Minister herself is interested in ensuring that women access this ACMIS loan. And that's why I'm saying that access to finance is almost over.
Okay, if I want to follow you, it's not that the access to finance have never been there. But women have always complained about collateral, that they are faced with the kind of demands placed on them. Okay, these loans are available, you can access it, but this, you must bring so and so collateral. And this has also made it very difficult for women to access one. Are you saying now with this project that it's been simplified, that loan seekers can go get loan and don't have to bring any form of collateral?
Yes, because for this scheme, you access up to 10 million naira. And the only collateral you need is 2 references that can attest to your character. What you only need to do is to train, have a business plan, upload it on the portal, and you're done.
How many women know what business plan and?
That is why they are expected to go for the training. And this training, they are taught how they can, it's a very simple process, how they can write their business plans themselves. And that is why a portal is created. You can also have a template on the portal of NISA that you can access to be able to put in the information of your business. It is you that is doing the business. So it is only you that can give information about that business. However, you know, we can get very busy. Of course, if we get busy, it's one way of creating jobs for the younger ones. You get them, those that are internet savvy and knowledgeable, you get them to help you do that. But of course, they need data to do that. So you need to sort that out. Again, I want to say that apart from the ACMIS, there is the National Collateral Registry that accepts registration of women's trinkets, women's car, women's television, any movable item that you can register it on the National Collateral Register, provides access for women's fund to businesses. So you can see that these are all results of advocacies, and interactions, engagements, and all that. And that's why we keep calling on government and other stakeholders to create more space for engagement. Because as we engage, we are able to take off some bottlenecks that hinders or impedes on development, growth, and accessibility for citizens.
Thank you so much. I know that in the business world, women always talk about this inequality that exists between them and the male counterparts. And also, it's also in the environment of the way government have placed certain policies. But we'll talk about that after the break. All right, I'll take a short break. It's still Total Woman, and my guests, Mrs. Rose Gian, has been talking to us about accessibility, to some of the interventions government have put in place that are available for women to tap into. So the woman entrepreneur, what are these opportunities available for you? Don't go away, we'll be right back.
I can be all I ever dream of, oh yeah. I am a total woman, yeah. I am a total woman, oh. I am a total woman.
All right, welcome back. It's still Total Woman on AD4 TV Radio. My name is Muti Olori, and my guest, Mrs. Rose Gian. We've been looking at the woman as an entrepreneur. My guest is the Executive Director, Association of Women in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and also the DG of Global Center for Human Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Development. And we've been talking about the intervention available for women created by government so that we can access funds. But people always say, and that's what we've observed, that women have their own, when you put them together with male counterparts when it comes to accessing funds or thriving in the business environment, that there's always a disadvantage between being a man and a woman. And people have attributed a lot of factors to why women do not succeed in business environments like the male counterparts. And I'm sure you know some of those.
Yes, like we earlier discussed, lack of collateral by women is one of the major impediments. I wouldn't say that financial institutions bring up money and say, okay, these ones, we are going to give this to the men. I think women are more favored because in everything now, this gender plays a role. And gradually, the world is beginning to understand that the women have been subdued for a long time when they have potentials to actually develop or contribute to the development of their countries. Collateral has been a very major problem. And like I earlier said, while the woman is trying to see how she can overcome that by getting, finding ways of owning collaterals, owning buildings or land and all that can serve as collateral or as a security for her to be able to access business funds. The government is also doing its own bit, and that is at the point of establishing the National Collateral Registry. However, the challenge is how many women are aware that there is an institution like that. So I think the government has to do more of publicizing their policies, their institutions that are available to support the women's businesses.
Now, how does this collateral register run?
The collateral registry empowers or provides that women can register, not only women though, men and women, particularly those operating within the micro, small and medium enterprises space, can register movable items. And these items are tied to the amount of loan they collect from every financial institution, because all financial institutions are on the portal, or rather are partnering in this policy implementation. So that once your movable item is registered, you'll be allowed to use it. You'll be using it. It's not as if when you now register your gold, they will tell you,
bring it.
Bring it. No, you will be using it. But it is acknowledged that you cannot use it to collect another loan elsewhere until you are done with it. And I must say that the encumbrances within the financial system is not only peculiar to inability to access loan through collateral, but the policies also within the financial space. You know, we had, I would say, we had a porous financial space where there is no proper identification of the person taking the loan.
Okay.
And so it becomes a problem. You know that our addresses are always behind the primary school, near a
by
church,
transformer.
by the transformer, and by the market.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you give a loan. How many markets are there? In Amak, we could have 20 markets. So which of the Amak markets are you referring to? But now with the emergence of credit bureaus where registrations are made, with the emergence of the seeming, what do you call them, harmonization of our identification process, it's really helping. But then we're still calling that such things there should be more harmonization, where it will be seamless and less cumbersome to access. When you talk about overcoming the challenges, yes, we are gradually overcoming the challenges because women now are beginning to understand that businesses are different from their kitchen money. These were all the problems we had. Anything that is inside the bag, it is either for the makeup or for the salt or for enhancing the products in the shop. All join. They all go together. So we had no adherence to competitive practices.
So that's where the economic education,
literacy, and all that comes in. And that's why we have AWIMSME, this Association of Women in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. It didn't just come from the blues. Association of Women in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises came as a result of interaction with regulatory agencies from 2016 to 2019. Where GLOTIT, the Global Center, organized women exhibition, organized a round table between the women entrepreneurs and regulatory agencies of government, like the NAFDAC, the SON, the CNACS, and all that, CAC, and all that. Annually, they bring them together. Come and talk to the women. What do they need to be able to get their products on the shelves? What do they need to be able to have accredited systems or processes in their production?
And also to access the interventions
so
that are available for them.
Yes, because once you are able to have competitive products, you can take it to ShopRite, you can take it to exclusive shop and all that. But you and I know that most of our products are in the boots of our cars. When we drive, where there is a community meeting, we do shop there.
Yes.
Where there is a church meeting, we
That's
do shop
the
there.
entrepreneur's life.
We do shop there. But then the products are not competitive, so that is the only way you can sell it.
So what
But
are
when
the factors limiting women from
The
achieving
factors
those
limiting-
standards that are being put in, that are being taught or
Exactly.
preached by the
factors limiting them are gradually being removed. I give you an example. We have what standards organization call the group process certification. Now, if you need to spend 5 naira to certify your process of doing liquid soap, they accept now that you can do liquid soap as a group and get it certified and given a number. That all of you, if for instance you're 10 in a group, all of you will use that number. And so you see there is traceability. If there is any fault, they will trace to that group.
Yeah.
and then you share the cost. If it's 5 naira, you share it among the number of people that are in the group. Then gradually, as your market grows, you can now begin to look for your individual certification. But at least you have a basis to start from. With that certification, you will be able to now sell your product to a formal store without causing problem, getting his shop or her shop locked because he's selling an uncertified or a product that is not of standard.
You mentioned something about information, that women do not have access to adequate information, or women do not go search for adequate information.
Yes. Number one, if we are leading women groups, it is a responsibility. You don't lead by sitting down. You lead by going to search for information, for opportunities for your members. But we see that most times we operate in a straitjacketed manner. We don't collaborate. We are not easily open to collaborations and partnership. And that is where the issue is. If, for instance, I have an information that my own organization may not even need because of our target or thematic group, why would I not share that information with the group that can access it and it will be useful to it? And that is why now, as I told you, that within the economic space, Fedwin, as a platform, has NGOs, CBOs, people with special needs, religious organizations, and the business membership organizations on that platform. So once you get an information, you pass it on the platform. Leaders on that platform are expected to now take it round to their members.
So what about the individual that doesn't belong to any group?
The individual that does not belong to any group should try and belong to a group.
Is there a way to access it?
Of course, there are so many women groups.
Okay.
I'll tell you that because of this issue of accessibility to information, we have an office in Area 1. So women can go to that office and get all the information they require.
What
about
if I'm not
AXMIS,
here? I'm in another place. Can I get, is there online a way I can get access?
A website is being developed for that.
Okay.
For that, so that information can pass out to any part of the world. For the women to know that this and this and this exists. And then this is where you can get it. And so accessibility now is seamless. Seamless because even within the social media, before you know it, things are already there. Things are already there. And so that's what I will encourage as many women organizations as possible. And again, I want to also call on government to partner with these women organizations and pass information. It is not enough that you have a structure from the national, state, and local government. It's not enough. That structure can exist without people even patronizing it.
Especially those in the community.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you, develop a kind of a template of community of practice where you can engage with these people and then be able to pass such information to them. And then, you do a check, a mechanism where there will be feedback. The information we gave, what happened? How did you pass it? What is the reaction of people? Then you know that an information was passed. But if you keep passing information and you don't get a feedback on the information, have you really communicated?
Wow. Wow, Mrs. Rose, thank you so much for opening our eyes, especially my viewers, to some of the things that are available, like we're saying, what are the opportunities available for women in the business world. A final word to every Nigerian businesswoman who has tried but has failed several times and has given up. What word would you have for such a small business, a medium business, an entrepreneur that's,
well,
is tired and almost
anybody, not just women now, who tries business and fails is a businessman or woman. It's not an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur breaks the ice. He insists on getting to where the block is and breaks through the block. That is an entrepreneur. So what I will encourage every woman that is interested in business is first make up your mind to be resilient. because you are not going into pleasure. You are going into business. There is competition. And for you to be competitive, to sustain in business, you must be competitive in your products, in your systems, in your processes. That is what will stand you out. Because if you have a product that you label anyhow, you package anyhow, nobody will patronize you. And that can be part of the challenge. That can be part of the frustration. But if you really plan your business and ensure that you keep upscaling your capacity, your knowledge, and move with the tides of time, you will be able to break through. And no hindrance, no challenge will stand your way. You will make sure you remove it from your way to move.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Gia. Well, you've heard it. Before you begin, in the first place, is making up your mind to be resilient and to pursue it to the end. But what is key? Two things: capacity building and access to information. Learn to build your capacity. There is strength in knowledge. Know what you want to do, build your capacity, and search for information. There's so many interventions government have put in place. Get information, access them, network, partner, so that you can grow. Yeah. That is our message from Total Woman to you today. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll be with you again with another guest next week. Bye-bye for now.
I am more